Hey, welcome back to Tone Garden. Today, what we're going to be discussing is, can Chat GPT build the perfect pedal board?
For worship
For
specifically.
worship. For worship, yeah. So what we did is I had Chat GPT go ahead and create a list. I said, build me the best pedal board for worship music. Give me a description of each pedal. Jude asked a similar question. What was it?
I said build a perfect worship pedal board and give me a description.
Okay,
So
perfect. I said best. He said perfect. Let's see what changes here.
I think that's a weird distinction because perfect is such a strange word.
Yeah.
Which is why I decided, because I see like people say I created the perfect or best like tone or thing, and it's like, no, that's not really how this works. But
so let's see. I'm gonna read my list. Jude's gonna read his, and we're gonna give it a grade and see if we think ChatGPT has displaced every music guy out there that works at Guitar Center. So
yeah, I don't typically, no offense, I don't typically ask them a lot of advice.
Well, ChatGPT might be your new guy.
Justin from Sweetwater, I still love you. You're still my guy. So.
All right, so number one for me, ChatGPT says, number one, you need a Boss TU3 chromatic tuner. I can't argue with that.
Okay.
That's a solid pedal.
That's not bad.
It's a solid pedal. This is its description. A reliable tuner to keep your guitar in perfect pitch during worship sessions. Its sturdy build and accurate tuning make it a staple on any pedal board.
So my first one is a tuner, obviously. It's the TC Electronic Polytune 3.
Okay.
Mainly because you can strum through all your strings, see the pitches individually. It's usually
right.
I've used that one before actually, and it's pretty great.
Pretty good. Yeah.
But also at the same time, I'm still only turning one tuning knob at once.
Exactly.
I've always thought that was a little weird. It's like, I can see them all at once. I'm like, okay, but you can't. You don't have 6 hands.
Right.
So honestly, either is fine.
Either one is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2 for me is a Strymon Timeline delay. All right, known for its pristine delay sounds, the Timeline offers versatile delay options from subtle echoes to ambient textures, perfect for creating a heavenly atmosphere in your worship music. See that? ChatGPT has a sense of humor. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
My number 2 was a volume pedal, which is a little different. And I like to think this is the exact pedal order as well.
Right, yeah.
Which would be very strange. You go delay immediately before anything else. For me, Ernie Ball VP Jr. This pedal allows for smooth volume swells, which are crucial for creating ambient textures in worship music. Not the Junior, but
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like the small ones, as probably previously stated in videos. So
yeah. Small ones kind of have a throw issue, for me anyway. It takes some getting used to. Some people talk about it. They say you can get used to it, move on from it. But I like the bigger ones myself.
Yeah.
Number 3, the EHX Holy Grail Reverb. Says this pedal adds a touch of divine reverb, ChatGPT, I'm telling you, to your guitar tones. With its various reverb settings, it can create ethereal and spacious sounds, ideal for worship music.
Let's go. Okay, number 3 for me is an overdrive pedal. So far, my pedal order makes a lot more sense than yours.
A little bit, yeah. You did use the word perfect, though.
Yes, I did. It knew what I wanted, I guess. The full tone OCD or the JHS Morning Glory. I'm going to disagree with the OCD as a main worship drive. I'm going to say like a Tube Screamer or something along those lines because you want the mids. I think the OCD is really good for like heavy, high amounts of like distortion.
Right,
but
like
it's
a
not,
second gain or something.
It says overdrive pedal adds warmth and grit to your tone. It actually really doesn't add warmth, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah.
A pedal like the OCD offers a wide range of overdrive tones from subtle to aggressive, while the Morning Glory is known for its transparent and smooth overdrive, perfect for a light to medium gain. I've never used the Morning Glory, so can't speak on that.
So that's my 4th, the Morning Glory. So for me, the first stage, I guess, the first gain stage, JHS Morning Glory. I have a lot of people, or I know a lot of people in my past that have used it. They still use it. It's a staple on their board. They absolutely love the Morning Glory. I've never really taken to it. I've played through it. It sounds fine. It's just one of those things for me. It's just not a feel thing. But
Gotcha. Yeah. For me, number 4 It says distortion pedal, which, okay.
Come on, Chat GPT. Come on.
For songs that require that heavier sound, a distortion pedal like the Rat, the Proco Rat, can provide a more intense and sustained distortion. We got to the drive section.
Yeah.
And this thing's starting to fall off hard.
Mine's still pretty solid. The lineup's a little weird.
Yeah, your pedal order makes no sense.
No sense. No sense at all. But that's okay. That's okay. Number 5 for me, and I absolutely agree with this. Just personal preference. A Walrus Audio. Thank you. Sorry. Julia chorus / vibrato.
Okay.
So like if you want that, something to create some lush sounds, and this is what it says: the Julia pedal provides lush, chorus, okay, so I'm using the right words, and vibrato effects. It can add a subtle, angelic.
Ooh.
Man, I'm telling you, it's on it.
The puns
are strong.
That's
angelic
crazy.
Modulation to your guitar sound, contributing to the depth of your worship music, and I agree with that. Like maybe we've discussed in previous videos, I'm not one to use these all the time.
Yeah.
But when you do use them, you want quality.
Yeah.
And these are, in my opinion, great pedals.
For me, number 5 is a compressor, which I've never run a compressor after my drives.
Yeah.
However, I can see the premise of it. It would just be one of those things where your drives would never give you a dB boost.
Right.
Which is weird. Or, well, if they did, it would be much more like suppressed, obviously.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'd like that.
No, I'm not. Every time compression gets put on the end of a guitar, I get frustrated. But it says a compressor evens out the dynamic range, adding sustain and clarity to your playing. Not always clarity, but okay. Which is especially useful for clean tones and finger picking. Why did you put it after the drives then? That makes no sense.
I don't know about your list anymore, Jude.
Yeah, it does say a Keeley compressor plus though, which I can vouch for the fact that the Keeley compressor is the GOAT.
It is a great pedal. For me, number 6, full tone OCD, okay, which we already addressed this a little bit. So that's probably on my list. I'm assuming it's the second gain stage, right? So like something to give it that boost. I used to have the OCD on my pedal board forever. It's a great pedal. It's, to each their own on these things. It's all subjective. But
absolutely.
It's a great pedal. It's and I still see it on people's boards to this day. I mean, it's been around for a long time. So for a second gain, I mean, I won't go into the description of this. It's just an overdrive, gives you that boost, gives you that grit, and can help that that lead line soar a little bit. But not a bad. Now for me, I don't have a problem with that.
I haven't seen an OCD on a pedal board since like 2015 though, to be honest.
I saw one like a couple weeks ago.
Really?
On a Facebook post. But
okay.
Yeah, not in real life.
No.
I didn't see it in real life.
Yeah, no, I've got one somewhere. I don't even know where it is anymore, but all right. Modulation pedal, number 6, modulation pedal, the Strymon Mobius, which is extremely overkill.
Yes, for modulation, there's a lot of overkill. Yeah.
What do they make? What is it? Is it or one of them that's just like a chorus and a couple other things? I would just use that at this point. But it says this type of pedal offers various modulation effects like chorus, flanger, and phaser. Okay, I don't have any fun church puns like you do.
Whoever answered yours,
yeah,
just not as punny.
Are you using? You're using 3.5 and I'm using 4.
But there you go.
4 is not funny.
4 is not funny at all. 3.5 knows how to really tailor the message.
They have no idea how to order a pedal board either.
So maybe, ask both 3.5 and 4. Number 7 for me is the MXR Dynacomp compressor. It's a compressor.
That's a good one.
MXR is a great brand. I would absolutely use a MXR compressor.
I used to use that compressor. That was in my worship board until I switched to the Keeley.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Keeley's fantastic.
The Keeley, if you're going to go up from the MXR to anything, it's the Keeley.
But, as you all are aware, compressors, I mean, they squash and they sustain.
Yep.
Right? Yep. They provide balance to picking and different things like that. So
I'd put it at the beginning of your chain.
Yeah.
Because then your drives can still come up and down as needed. You can still use it just takes
squashing those.
Yeah, it just takes your clean signal and pulls it up to a reasonable volume, and then you can add everything afterwards. So number 7 for me is a delay pedal. It would be a Boss DD500 or a Strymon Timeline. Delay is a staple in worship guitar tone. This pedal offers a range of delay types from digital. This these pedals, sorry. These pedals offer a range of delay types from digital to analog and tape simulations, along with tap tempo and customizable settings. Yeah, they're both fine.
Both fine. I used to own the DD500. You have the Timeline still, right? Both are great pedals.
Yes.
It's hard to really beat them. But I'm going to come back through here in a little bit and tell you what I would do differently on my delay. So, but number 8 for me is and this is more of a, like you don't need it, but if you want it, it's the king of it. It's the Electro Harmonix POG 2. If you are looking for an octave effect, you're not going to find really, maybe if I'm wrong, go ahead and put it in the comments section. Because I haven't tried all the octave effects pedal out there, but the ones that I have tried, the POG is the king of it.
Your pedal order is making way less sense right now.
Way less sense.
You're like after some delays and stuff, you've literally got an octave pedal in the dead middle of your board.
Yep.
I would love to visualize this pedal board.
Maybe we will build the Chat GPT pedal one day.
That would be a good video. Just in the order it tells you.
In the order and to see what comes of it.
Yeah.
But this, to keep the puns going, provides a heavenly quality to your playing. I'm telling you, 3.5 is on point.
My gosh.
I love it.
Number 8 would be a reverb pedal. It just says Strymon Big Sky. There's no other option whatsoever.
The king of reverbs.
Yeah, it's a $500 pedal, but and then it, instead of explaining why, it like explains what reverb is. So it just says reverb adds space and atmosphere to your tone. A pedal like Big Sky provides a wide array of reverb types from room to hall to more ethereal sounds like shimmer.
But there's no heavenly or divine words.
Ethereal.
That's close.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just not there with the puns. I'm sorry. Your Chat GPT kind of stinks. Number 9. I'm kidding. Number 9 for me, Ernie Ball VP Junior. Okay.
Your volume pedals.
It's all the way almost at the end. Okay. So don't ask ChatGPT to. I mean, maybe I should have asked it to put it in the right order as well, but I didn't. No, we got to keep it interesting.
I like the idea of your delays being before
before anything.
Yeah, and when you go to swell, it just dies immediately.
Just kills it. Kills it. Oh my gosh. All right, yeah. So I won't give the description of that. Jude already did. Same premise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what's yours?
Okay, number 9 is a looper pedal. The TC Electronic Ditto. Looper is great for solo practice and layering soundscapes in a live setting. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never once been like, man, I need a looper right now.
Never said it.
No.
Not even in my life.
When you're in a band with...
In my life. And not one time in my life.
Yeah. Like when we play together, usually the band has bass, drums, keys, synth, sometimes acoustic, and then the two of us...
Yep.
You know, and like pads off the keys, and it's like, why would we need to just keep adding more? It's just garbage at that point.
Correct.
Too much.
Now, if you're coming up at the end of service or something, and and you are it, right? And maybe you want to provide
You're him.
Yeah. So like you get up there, and maybe you want to have some texture. Maybe a looper would be great then, but I would
also the Timeline does it. If you really need one in a pinch. And that is on my list here. The Timeline was 2 pedals ago. Just if you're like for me, I would never dedicate a whole extra spot.
No way.
To that.
No way. Not even close. So for me, number 10 is the same looper, and I think we've established that. Yeah, it's just not.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Number 10, we had a volume pedal way before, but number 10 is an expression pedal. Connects to compatible pedals like delay or reverb to control parameters like feedback or decay on the fly. I'm not gonna lie, if you have the Big Sky and the Timeline, you don't need to do that. But I could see why. I guess you might want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not a lot of instances where I like swell up effects. I just swell volume usually.
Yeah, I mean, I do morph on Kemper, which is similar.
Yeah.
In a sense, right? So we use Kempers, and I use a morph function, and that will, because it's not a, you can set your morph to be a slow swell in, a fast swell, or an instant swell.
Yeah.
So I do like a kind of a faster swell, but it swells in maybe a heavier delay or heavier verb or something. But yeah, anyways, that's a different.
Yeah, I think honestly, here's the thing though, is that volume pedal, they usually have expression outs on them.
You're right.
And if you're trying to swell effects, like do swells with effects or whatever, you could probably run the expression out and have it do exactly that while you're swelling volume. Like you can do so much with that. Then again, that might not work the way you want it to. It just depends. But yeah, I don't get the point of it.
Yeah. So let me ask you, are you done with yours? I only have 10.
Oh, I have an 11th one, which is just the pedal power.
From pedal power.
That I don't know. That doesn't really count. But hey, that's a good.
That's part of the perfect pedal board, though.
Yes.
Yeah, you do need pedal power for sure.
Yes.
Especially if you're running this many pedals.
Yes.
You know, I found a lot of noise with one spots, even the daisy chains of those one spots.
Mine is so low-key pretentious. It's like, each pedal in this setup is chosen for its ability to contribute to the lush, expansive soundscapes typical in worship music, while also layering flexibility for different song dynamics and styles. Lord, pat yourself on the back harder, Chat GPT.
Yeah, my gosh. Okay. What would you grade that list?
Because the drive section is kind of booty, B.
B?
The rest of it is pretty good.
You know, I would give mine, honestly, probably a B+.
Really?
Yeah.
The pedal order knocks it down to a hard D for me.
Pedal order is like a D-. You know?
There's pedals plugged in and on the board. You don't even have a power supply on yours.
I don't even know how to turn these things on.
Mine are on and mostly in the right order aside from the compressor.
Yeah. So outside of the pedal order, I would probably, what did I say, a B+? Yeah. I would give it probably a B+. And this is where, and I'll go through what I would change, and let me know what you think you would change on yours. So the reason why I would give it a B+ is this. Number one, the biggest thing I'm good with the tuner, I'm good with the timeline delay. The Holy Grail reverb effects being my only verb. I don't know if you are familiar with that verb. It's spring, haul, and then flurb.
That sounds so fake.
Flurb. And if you've ever heard it, it sounds like something out of like a old cartoon, like springs, boing, boing. Like it's, and I'm sure you can dial it in and make it somewhere in some situation usable.
Yeah, that's still funny though. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because of the limitations of that, I would not get the EHX Holy Grail reverb. I would probably, to be safe. I mean, it's hard. I know, and people will disagree with me, but I would get the Big Sky. It's hard to beat the Big Sky. Such a variety. Versatile if you need it to be, but it's plug and play if you need it to be that too.
Yes.
So, and then my drives, I don't have a problem with the Morning Glory, but I probably wouldn't have used that. I am a huge Mad Professor fan on pedals. I love their overdrives. I use a Little Green Wonder. Obviously, this is, Chat GPT can't know what I love, but the Morning Glory, it's a great pedal, just not my favorite. I would not use the OCD as my second stage gain.
Yeah.
I would probably get something a little bit, maybe even stick with a boost, a Keeley boost or something. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. So yeah, what would you change?
The tuner's fine.
Yeah.
Volume pedal, I'm not going to get a small one, personally. Yeah. Full tone OCD or Morning Glory or Rat as my drives.
Little. Yeah.
I could
you
make
can find
them sound
better.
good.
Yeah. Rats are, it's not horrible. They're not horrible pedals. But
no, that's not
correct.
My thing. I like some of the Strymon drives personally. I like a tube screamer in there.
Yeah.
I like some of the more Klon sounding tones. So some kind of mixture of those style pedals where I can really boost mids and push the amp more than like get distortion purely out of the pedal.
Right.
That's more my sort of style, like tube screamer and everything.
He has a huge list compared to mine because
I have some extras.
It's the perfect.
It's true. It's true. Also, the compressor being the fifth pedal in the chain is wacky. Wow.
Oh, so you're grading the chain. Okay.
Well, if I'm grading the chain, this is like a C-, but because of that. But no, the compressor. A Keeley Compressor Plus, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'd put that earlier in the chain, but like the choice is good.
Right.
Mobius is so extra.
It's very extra.
I'm not going to use all that.
Yeah. I mean, that's
$500 or $450 or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. It's expensive.
Yeah. They make a smaller form factor like Chorus. If I was really wanting to do that, I'd just swap it out for that.
Yeah.
Strymon Timeline and Big Sky, that's perfect. Do not need a looper though. And
no loopers needed for me.
If I'm going to use it, the Timeline does it. And I know there's some people that are like, well, I still want all my delays and stuff to be normal. And it's like, okay, well, I think you still can run like some form of your delays while the looper's going.
Right.
And I don't know. There's a lot you can do with the Timeline. Either way, just not my thing.
Not your thing. Not my thing either.
Expression pedal, no. What I would do if I had a pedal board, a lot of times, like your delays and reverbs and stuff would be way up at the front or like top of the board.
Right.
I'd get one of those tap things just for the tap tempo on my delay, just to move it down. Like the Strymon ones that you can plug. I just put that next to the volume pedal. There. That's it. That's all I would get for that. And the power supply is a good choice. The pedal power and the Strymon, whatever the Greek god they named it after this time, the Strymons are pretty good too. Yeah. For mine, it also chose amps, possible amps.
Oh, see, mine didn't go that far. Mine just had the puns.
The top 7 worship amplifiers.
Yep.
So this should be great.
Okay.
This could almost be its own clip here.
Yeah.
Top 7 worship amplifiers according to Chat GPT. We got number 7 is the Fender Blues Junior.
Listen, don't hate on the Blues Junior.
Yeah.
I had that amp for a long time. I love that amp.
Yes.
Solid amp.
Number 6 is the Helix or HX Stomp.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I feel like it's weird though because I asked for amps and we're getting full effects processing.
Full effects processing pedals. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's kind of a strange.
Yeah. Number 5, Kemper Profiling amp. It put amp on that. I'd argue it does a lot more than that.
Correct.
But, so I kind of disregard.
And I would put that if I would not put Helix above the Kemper. Just my opinion. Go ahead.
Oh well, the Helix is.
I'm sorry. We're going backwards. My bad. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kemper is a tier above. Number 4 is the Morgan AC20 Deluxe. Okay. I've never used one, but I've heard good things.
I've never used one either. I've heard great things though.
Number 3, this is up my alley here. Matchless DC30.
A great amp.
Yeah.
Great amp.
Yeah, I mean
it's been a long time since I've played through one, but great amp. Yeah.
If you count my Kemper, it has not been a long time since I played through one.
Yeah.
It's been like
I
don't know, 36 hours, something like that. Yeah. Number 2, Vox AC30.
Okay.
I would argue that depends on whether you're getting like the hand wired ones or not. Some of the Chinese ones are kind of crap, if I'm honest.
Yeah. There is, and those bright caps and different things in those. They can get really out of hand.
The different speakers they put on them. There's a lot that has changed about Vox. I know Bethel's guitarist has talked about like he buys like the 90s Voxes because they have a different vibe, or like they sound completely different to current Vox. They sound like a Vox.
Right. Yep.
Number 1, I don't know how I feel about this, Fender Hot Rod Deluxe.
Again, don't hate on the Hot Rod Deluxe. Okay, I played through that amp. It's not boutique.
No.
It's not bougie.
No.
And there is a weird, it gets the job done. There is a weird thing with the master volume. You can't get like 1 to 2 jumps. Like the volume is insane.
Yeah.
Jump. There's a massive jump. But
I'm sure that's kind of a capacitor or pot thing. You could probably mod it.
Probably, but
it's literally called the Hot Rod. You better be able to mod that thing.
Yeah. So I don't hate on that list.
But I'm not gonna lie. Okay, if we're taking Kemper and Helix out of there, what 2 amps would you throw in there?
I mean, if I had my choice, just because I just enjoy them. Number 1 would probably be like the Mesa Fillmore.
Yeah, those are good.
I like them. They're a great pedal platform amp. And then just about any divided by 13 amp I've ever played on.
That's fair.
I like them all. I've not played on one that I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, I would take any divided by 13 amp and run it.
I feel weird about not having either a Princeton Deluxe or Twin on there. that any one of those
You're
three,
right.
I would have been very happy with them putting on the list.
Yep.
And putting a Hot Rod or a Blues Junior above those feels really weird to me.
That is weird. I'll give you that. It's probably because they may be factoring in cost because the Hot Rod's cheaper.
Then again, we have the Helix and the Profiler, which are $1,800.
So maybe I'm wrong on that as well. So Chat GPT, it's a little wonky
this is
on
weird.
that one.
I would have put like a twin or a deluxe or something like that. Like I said, just a regular Fender amp in there.
Right.
And I know a lot of guys, for some of the more upbeat songs, they're using like older style Marshall amps for that sound, like the more mid-range, because they want the Vox, but more driven and out front. So I could see a Marshall making it somewhere on the maybe not towards the top.
I love a good Marshall Poxy amp. I mean, it's hard to beat them.
I wouldn't say for like every worship song that's the best thing, but like it would be cool to be able to switch to that for some of the other songs and stuff. Yeah.
So listen, if you guys disagree with this list that ChatGPT created, or even disagree with us or agree with us, let us know what you're thinking. Leave it in the comments. We would love to hear from you guys. And if you get a chance, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you with us in future shows.